Hey, what's going on everyone? This is iReviews back with another video, and today we're talking about iOS 26.3. Now this update has been in beta for almost 2 months now, even though we just had 3 betas released, but now the RC version is here, and now we're just days, maybe even hours away from the release of the new iOS 26.3 to the public. Now in this video, I will show you guys how to properly update your device from iOS 26.2 or 26.2.1, whichever version of iOS you're in, to the new iOS 26.3. Now, before we get into all that, I just want to ask you guys for a really quick favor. Most of you guys that watch my videos are currently not subscribed to the channel, so if you enjoy the videos and you want to see more of them, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel a lot. Now, first off, let's talk about the size of the update and the storage that you actually need to update your device. Now, you can see right here, this is the RC of iOS 26.3. Now, when you install an RC from a beta, it will basically reinstall iOS 26 completely on your device. That's why the update is actually quite big here. It is at around 8 gigabytes, and it should be like this on most devices. Of course, depending on devices, it might be a bit more or less. Now, this size will be if you're updating from beta to the RC, because if you're updating from iOS 26.2 or 26.2.1 to the new iOS 26.3, it will probably be less than that. But of course, you will need a ton of storage to update to iOS 26.3. It is actually quite interesting since the release of iOS 26, since the first betas back in June 2025, it has required quite a lot of storage to be installed. It will basically require you to double the storage of the size of the update. That's why you need to make sure that you have a ton of free storage in order to update your device. So head on to your settings, go to General, and then go right here to the iPhone storage. And make sure that you have at least like 10 to 12 gigabytes of free space on your device. That's what I believe you will need in order to make sure that you can update your device to the new iOS 26.3. Now, right here under the storage section, you will see a few different suggestions on how you can free up storage on your device. Of course, cleaning the recently deleted album, reviewing your photos or videos, but none of us want to actually delete photos or videos just to update the device. You will have a ton of other options which you can use. Now, what I prefer to do if I really need to have more space to update, I would just go ahead and delete one of the social media apps. Like you can see right here, TikTok, it's at about 4 gigabytes. If I would need 4 more gigabytes of free storage, I just go ahead and delete it, update the device, and then come back and reinstall the app. And you can do that with most apps. Of course, you will have apps that have stuff downloaded locally to your device. You will need to re-download them. Otherwise, for like games or apps like TikTok or Facebook or Instagram, you can just go ahead, delete them, update your device, and then you're good to go. You can come back and just reinstall them on your device, and you will of course have everything back there. Now, one of the things that I always suggest people do when updating their device is having a backup of their data. So if you had an iPhone for a long time, you know that updating the iPhone is actually very easy. It is very smooth. It shouldn't have any problems at all. But it happens. You might have a problem and maybe even lose your data. That's why you don't want to take the risk. You can just go ahead and back up your device. You can either back it up to your computer or laptop, or you can just go ahead and do it via the iCloud if you have enough storage on your iCloud. But always make sure that you have a backup of your data. Always have a fresh backup of your data just in case something goes wrong. Again, most likely it will never will when updating your device, but it might happen, so you don't want to take the risk. Go ahead and make sure you have a backup of your device. And now let's move on and talk about updating, the important part on how to update your device. I know it's pretty simple, but you will have a few scenarios here in which basically you can update your device. So let's head on to the update section. So right here you can see my device is already updated. It has the latest RC installed. And if you have been on any of the betas of iOS 26.3, this is what I suggest you do. You make sure that you install the RC version. That's basically the public release. That's for devs and public testers. You don't need to wait for the public release and move from your beta to that, because it's the exact same update. And when Apple releases iOS 26.3 to the public, if it has a change, a different build number, then you will get another RC right here. You can just go ahead and install that as well. But of course, a lot of people just prefer to install the public release. Now, in that case, if you're on any of the betas of iOS 26.3, you can just go ahead and go here to beta updates and turn it off. Again, as long as you have not installed the RC yet, and then wait for the public release right here. If you have the RC installed, then you're good to go. You won't get an update when it's released to the public. Whether turned off or not, the beta updates, you won't get an update. Now, of course, if you're on iOS 26.2 or 26.2.1, it is very simple. You can just go ahead, come here. You will see the update, and just quickly update your device from here. Now, as long as devices go, of course, every device that does have iOS 26 on them will actually be able to update to the new iOS 26.3. And Apple has done a great job over the years supporting their devices with new softwares. So as long as you have a device on iOS 26.3, you can just go ahead and install it right away. And even if you have a device on iOS 18, if it's an iPhone 11 and newer, you can always go ahead and update to the new iOS 26.3 if you haven't already installed iOS 26 on your device. And now let's talk about whether you should update or not to the new iOS 26.3. Well, I had this update installed right here on my main device since day one when it was released on beta, and it's actually really good. Now, Apple has actually gotten quite good with these betas. You install a beta like right here, iOS 26.3, and you won't even notice that you're on a beta. It is actually really smooth, and it works really fast. Now, you can see the usage right here for the battery. The battery is actually quite good, so you can see right here 137% battery usage over 8 hours. Right here 125, 7 hours 51 minutes. And this battery is actually on this iPhone at 83% battery health, so you can see it right here. So it's not a new phone, it's not a new battery, and I'm still getting about 7.5 hours on 100% charge, which is actually really good. So when it comes to battery, I'm really satisfied with iOS 26.3, but also the performance, of course, very good, very smooth. The animations are smooth and fast, so it's good to go. I think you should actually update your device to iOS 26.3 the day it is released to the public. Even though it doesn't have a ton of new features and changes, it is still a great update to have on your device. So that is it for this video, guys. This is iOS 26.3 coming out probably in a few hours to the public. It is a great update, so go ahead and update your device right away. So that is it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video and it helps you in any way. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more iOS 26.3 videos. And I'll see you guys on the next one.